Okay. This is my last. This really is the last attempt. I basically unplugged all of my USB devices and then plugged them in again to see whether or not I could get if I could get anything to work. We're back at work. I think I've got control. This is where we're up to. I'm just going to crack on. I doubt. I mean, the whole point was like nobody's watching. I never really expect there to be anybody watching. Today, I definitely don't expect anyone to keep watching after the third attempt to get this stream working. Anyway, what I was saying was that I designed this vacuum hose, which I'm now going to insert into this design as its own thing. And I realized as I was thinking about my design the other day that what I would want to do, well, initially I thought, well, I could use this to insert into here to get the measurements right. Just gonna position this roughly where it would be. So I was thinking, oh yeah, I'll literally do this and sort of prove that the thing fits where it's supposed to fit. Comme ça. So, all would be good. That was the theory. And then I realized, well, I've got this model up. Rather than have this interface point and risk, like, this is all just going to pull out when the CNC machine is moving. Like, the whole point of this design of the vacuum hose was that... let me break this link as well. I want to modify in here. Like, the whole design of this part of it is that it is literally screws on to the ribbed hose of the vacuum. So I could literally just chop all of this bit off and weld this onto here and just make that part of the whole integrated thing. So that's what I'm going to do. That is what I'm going to do. So what I need to think about is exactly where. So this ridge here allows this internal piece to rotate freely but be captured. So it's part of the print. Now, I will say, and I've just realized as I think about this, that I may yet struggle with this design if the intention is to print in one piece. I'm probably going to end up slicing particularly this component into multiple pieces to print anyway. So I probably just need this to end in a surface that could be glued to this surface, probably. Let's see what that looks like. I just want to double check with my spindle height. Okay, I'm gonna move this fella freehand like down to about there. Let's kind of get him somewhat aligned with let's say minus 8 degrees. Yeah, okay. So somewhat like that. And then what I'm going to do is split this body. Let's see, modify, split body, capture position. I want to split you. I want to split you by this surface. Comme ça. And then I just want to delete all. Well, I guess I can just go away for the moment. So this then, if I switch off these bodies, basically just end up with that That's got a flat surface. The interior piece is still captured by the looks of it. And switch this bit on. And yeah, so basically, like that, weld this on the side. And now the hose also doesn't have to deal with that taper, which is good. And should I flare that out a little bit, maybe, so that it ends up as a... What I'm trying to decide is it better to weld this on? I don't think so. Like, this piece is going to be massive if I do that. Let's get rid of this bottom piece. So this is all one component. I probably don't even need that to be as tall as it is, but meh, that's probably fine. But what I might do is just plan to print literally this chunk separately to everything else, in order to, and just glue it together. I'll probably be strong enough, right? Anyone done that? Glued 3D printed parts together and had them under reasonable stresses? Is it worth considering some kind of interlocking? Because what I would probably do is print this piece with this as the bottom, which is what I did when I printed it originally. So I could do something at this interface point, perhaps, to make it a little bit more prone to grip. What I might do actually is I'll just sink this in a little using that tapered whatnot, cut out against this body so that there is a tapering fit. That seems like it will probably be good enough. So let's just drop you in like that. Is that good enough? Actually, let's come back a second. I kind of want to freehand you like that. Yeah, you're not exactly lined up, are you? I could probably, if I thought about it, do some explicit, like, center this body on that body kind of emotion. But no, that's probably close enough. Close enough for our purposes. So let's do combine you and cut and keep the tools. Comme ça. And if I switch that off, oh, interesting. Okay, so it's a fairly small ridge in there. Have I created like a new... No, it's still connected, but I guess... let me just switch all of this off and bring this back. I didn't really check what the edge geometry of this looked like. Yeah, okay, so that's kind of a problem, is that because this is already 2 parts, I've cut out a slightly weird profile, which I can probably clean up a little bit. So let's do that. I'm just going to do a quick inspect. Section analysis. So most of that is if I delete, whoa, if I delete that face, I cause all sorts of problems. I probably should not go down this path, given the sorts of trouble I have caused myself in the past. I'm on a hiding to creating myself a real mess of an issue right here. Let's just do that. Okay, so that is a bit more of a normal-ish trench that when this is there should be somewhat easy to just like contact glue around the edge. Okay, I've convinced myself that's good enough. I have convinced myself that's good enough. And so that basically just leaves any tidy up I want to do around this interface, these interfaces, and anything I want to do about this little block, which I kind of didn't do with measuring anything. Let me see, somewhere you can do, insert a McMaster card component, go look for a nut, X nut. I don't really care what kind of steel it is, I just want a size. Can I have a metric size, please? This is going to be a problem. I haven't really looked at McMaster card before. But really, system of measurement. No. Can I change that? No. Okay, so you're all just inches. No, that's not helpful. Let's go back. How do I go back? Clear all. Okay. So, do they list hex nuts separately for metric? I literally just want, like, I don't really care. I just want standard hex nut, just to get a vague idea. Hey, metric, here we are. Thin. Metric, fine thread, medium, super, whatnot. You'll do. I think M8 might be a wee smidgy on the large side, if I'm honest. I don't want to order it. I want to put it in the Poxin. How do I put it in the thing? Isn't that supposed to be what you can do? I'm sure I've heard people talking about just inserting stuff into their design. This is not happening. Yeah, okay. I'm going to forget that. Screw that. Okay. Do I have anything near to hand that I can measure that with? Not really. I'm going to call it there anyway. I'll fix that hole separately. And then I think I will... Well, let's have a quick look. In fact, what I will do very quickly is we'll export this chunk as an STL. We'll have a quick look in Slicer. CNC dust shoe. Top mount. I just want to check quickly in Slicer in case there's any obvious flaws that I should work on right now. But other than that, I'm going to go back to free modeling max. Just for the last 20 minutes. Because that is a little bit more interesting than measuring a nut and tweaking the final details. And CNC dust you. Let's have a look at you. Okay. Orientation looks alright. Let's assume that I'm probably not going to print that in detail. Let's say fast is going to be good enough. Let's have a look at what that looks like. So So I guess basically I'm just looking to make sure or to figure out, do I have some random unsupportable pieces? I think I may want to print that with some supports. It's sort of okay because it joins gradually and all of the curves are somewhat. Tell you what I'll do, I'll switch on support material with a relatively let's say 15 overhang threshold is a bit lower, so it won't be overzealous. We'll reslice and see whether it thinks it needs anything. Okay, yeah, so it wants to put a little bit of support for the hole and a little bit of support with that back piece. Oh, I can probably see now. That's the sort of thing where, like, I don't mind this and this for the hole. That seems reasonable. But this at the back, that's only there because I have this flat on the model. So I think that I can, like, fix that rather than have 3D printing have to come on, easy. But 0.25, 0.5, that's probably about as far as it's going to go, is that right? 0.6, 0.7, 0.65, 0.6. I'll be curious, like, there might be a better way to do this, but if I just do that and create a teeny radius, I'm curious if I re-export that, whether that is going to be sufficient to what am I doing? Come here, export. Whether that will be sufficient to stop it thinking it needs to print support material for that tiny little back piece, which I literally do not care about. It is not a functional part of the design. Let's delete that guy. Open him up again. Slice again. Preview. Thinking. There we are. So there you go. For the sake of a 0.6 radius fillet right there, it no longer needs to print a bunch of, well, I say a bunch, like a little bit, but still, wasted print is wasted print. So that will come out. Let's just do. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. Just export it and see how long it thinks that's going to take. 8 hours. Ooh, that's at fast setting. 8 glorious hours of printing. Okay, I'm not going to set that going right now. I will probably have had it done by tomorrow. No, because I do want to double check exactly what hardware I'm going to put in the hole right there. Right, we're running out of time. I'm not going to do another. I will at some point look at the bottom side and all that stuff, and I'll probably get some stuff printing, but I really wanted to spend a bit more time trying some sculpt zone stuff. Sculpt. Where are you? I guess you were A for axe head. I've entered the sculpt environment. So last week I think I had this set up to mirror my actions. So come on. So the theory I kind of have at this point, oh, that's a bit weird, is that I want to yeah, make some changes which are, oh no, don't do that. Make some changes which are symmetrical, so that, oh, that actually immediately looks a lot closer. So quick reminder, this is my axe head. That's what I'm going for, that hole there. So immediately we're a little bit closer to what I wanted. I think I can tuck this up a little, but I should probably also just remind myself what that distance is. That is 35 mil on this, and it is approximately 27 mil on the thing. So what I'm gonna do I want to keep this symmetrical across this hole? Maybe not. Let's just, in fact, yeah, so I can get my selection right. So let's just bring you lot in a bit, and we'll see whether, so that was 35, I want to get it down to 27, so that would be 7 back, please. Okay, what do you reckon? Proportion, that looks a lot closer to what we're dealing with. So let's just verify our interior distance. Why didn't you do that from the middle of the thing? Probably because it doesn't. I could split that to get an exact middle. So it thinks, but let's have a quick look. 15 near the back, at least order of magnitude. Are we close? So that needs to be, it needs to be more like 16 and a half in the middle. So I do think we're very close on that. Enough that I'm not going to finagle it more right this second. What I'm gonna do is think a bit more about, so this backs, so I've, in the sculpt zone, I was able to push this hole through the middle without affecting the exterior sides at all. Now that is not what happens when you push a lump of steel through another lump of steel. It pushes out, so you end up with this bump profile, which is literally material moved around. So I'm gonna have to repeat, or at least cause that process. So let's just subdivide our sides a bit more until we are like, yeah, let's have another subdivision, I think. Subdivide. Okay, so what I want to do, come on. I wonder if that will be enough if I pump you out a wee smidge. A little bit. Let's have a look. I feel like I need to extend the back side of this. So the exterior of my axe is 49 mil at its widest point. Let's accept that for a second. Let's inspect. Where are we at the moment? Between there and there. 45, so I need another 3.5 mil. Okay, so let's Yeah, I think I can get away with just selecting. Right, well, why is that? Come on, don't do this to me. Oh, that's because I'm still in measure, that's why. Let's see. Let's have a look at what happens if I just pull these guys out by another. Let's see. I basically want one on a bit because it's doing 2 on each side. So 1.75, let's do that. Again, it doesn't need to be super accurate copy. Could do with a bit more. But like my thinking is more, if I can create something which is broadly the right scale, then that will help in terms of just visualizing the design, the handle. Or like I want to come up with a couple of different designs for the handle. So what I want to do is stretch these down. Now, I think I'm rapidly going to get to a weird position where I don't really understand how to get to what I want. I'm going to do that for a second. I feel like that's a bit of a steeper. So if I subdivide these guys, so it's kind of interesting actually. Like when I was literally beating the real thing with a hammer, it did end up with a very similar issue of this sort of internal crease that I then needed to I basically need to try and adjust for, which in the real thing I was able to do by grinding it out. Ooh, but now look at that. Now I mean, it's obviously my real thing is a tad rougher than that. Let's give it to you in the same, but you can kind of see where I'm going with it, like a little bit. What have we got? 7 minutes. We're in good shape at the moment. So I'm going to drag these guys up a little bit because my top surface isn't as flat as I would have liked it to be. The reality is it is up a bit. Yeah, let's do that. And then I want to. So what is going to be challenging is figuring out how to clean up some of these kind of creases and whatnot, which again, like in the physical world of smacking things, I was able to achieve what I wanted by grinding things flat, which I don't know how to do in this. So that I think needs to come out the back some way. Let me double check where I am with my overall length. Okay, so you're saying 146 from kind of bottom of the axe to back of the center. Let's have a look. Ooh, 146. That's shockingly on, except I think for the real thing, I have more of a body at the back here than this. This hole is a bit further forward. But I don't think I'm going to be able to move that hole through the material in quite the same way. Not sure. I feel like, well, I guess that's what the adventure is for, is to try and, if I select all of that stuff and edit and pull it out a bit. Yeah, okay, so that looks a bit closer. Let me just check. I'm going to get this whole back piece right, and then I will fiddle with the axe itself, or the blade itself. So this should be 28, basically, from the inside of my handle hole to the back. So let's inspect that. 22.5. So I want another 5.5. Okay. So let's do what we did last time. Select all of those surfaces, edit the form, drag them out. Another 5.5. Double check, because I'm not convinced that this works in quite that way. 28. Okay. Good. Good. That is the back. I think the back is in pretty good shape. Close, certainly close enough to understand this bit. Now that, if that's 147 to there, across the top, I think that's already, so I just need to bring that top back in. Yeah, okay. So can I bring this and this? Oh no, don't measure me. Come on. Edit form. So I kind of want to bring these back by an amount. What did I say? I didn't actually know how far over it was. I wonder if I can also, oh no, I don't want to do that. I definitely get to a point where I'm like, so that's that axis. I don't know how to clean up certain facets of what this looks like. Okay, I'm just going to do that at the moment. Obviously, this whole thing needs to come in quite a bit. We need to get rid of that crease. We need to get rid of that crease. We do, however, have something that's sort of broadly-ish, sort of right kind of profile and the right size. That is where I'm going to leave that for now. So, my goodness, 1.5 minutes. So this was a bit of a faff today. Technology somewhat kicked me in the ass. I've been CADing like nobody's been watching. Pretty sure no one's been watching. They may have tried with 1 or 2 of the first streams, but I had to mess around to get OBS to work, which is very annoying. We got there in the end. Tomorrow I might do a bit more prep. Make sure it's a little bit more smooth sailing. But for now, that is that. So hopefully, if you did watch this, if you got all this way, thank you for watching. I hope you were more successful in your CAD adventures this afternoon than I was with my streaming technology. This has been Make a Geek. I have been Dan. This has been CAD like nobody's watching. And I'll see you tomorrow, 5 o'clock.